Oh.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
Hi.
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome to our second Camp NaNoWriMo write-in. Woo! Welcome back to everyone who joined us last time, and a brand new welcome to everyone who's brand spanking new to a virtual write-in, which I am this year. My name is Tim. I'm the editorial director here at National Novel Writing Month. Very proudly rocking my NaNoWriMo t-shirt, as is...
Yeah, the intern. Yeah. I'm so jealous. I don't have one.
You don't have one yet?
No, I don't have one yet.
Oh my gosh, we gotta fix that. We'll fix it.
Anyway, I'm Katherine. I'm one of the interns here.
And did you say your name?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I'm Wendy. And this is Blobby.
Oh yeah.
One of your other.
What is he, like a mascot? Yeah, a counselor. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, totally.
Blobby's very sweet behind his ferocious exterior. So if you guys weren't here last week, basically what these virtual write-ins are is just an opportunity to kind of really get together and write together and maybe try on some different writing prompts, challenges, and we're going to be doing a bunch of word sprints as well. What's the theme today, guys?
The theme is dialogue!
We should have like those like loud.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that'd be awesome. So we don't have that, but Wendy, what are we going to be doing today?
Okay, so we'll be writing mostly about dialogue, and dialogue is when two or more characters are speaking to each other. Like I don't really want to enact it right now.
We're having a dialogue.
Yeah, we are right there.
This is a dialogue right here.
Yeah, so dialogue is obviously an extremely important part of any writing. And it has to move the plot forward, it has to show off the character's personality, it has to reveal characters' relationships to each other, and increase tension.
And we know some of you are working on other projects than novels, so this is something that can help you whatever you're doing. If it's a screenplay, if it's a novel, if it's a collection of stories or poetry, anything, this can help you out.
And especially if you're tackling a script, like dialogue becomes even more important because it's really the only way you're conveying the story. Yeah. So all you script writers out there,
this is for you.
This is for you.
Yeah. But also keep in mind while we're doing this that you don't have to do any of these prompts.
Yes.
You can, if you want to just like listen in while we're chatting and talking to you guys and just carry on with your own thing, that's perfectly great.
Or just build up your own word count during the word sprints, like that's totally fine.
Mm-hmm. So, but if you want to try out our prompts, maybe try something a little bit different. That's cool too.
Yeah.
So, all right. So the first thing that we're going to do, we're just going to start off with a little 5-minute word sprint, and this is just kind of to get you into dialogue writing mode, and especially to just remind you that what you write down is not necessarily the finished product, and so just being a little bit flexible with that. And so we're going to start out by giving you a prompt, and then from there you are going to write a bunch of different responses that could happen to the prompt. So trying to find out the important information of what you're trying to respond and setting it up by trying out a bunch of different things. And I think we have an example here. It's from the short play Sure Thing by David Ives. And in this play, it's two characters in meeting, so it's just dialogue. And they're trying to strike up a conversation. They're two strangers, but every time one of them says something wrong that stops the conversation, a little bell dings and they start over again. So, shall we?
You can be the
bell. I'm going to be one. Oh, I'm going to be the bell? Great, okay.
All right, are you Bill or Betty?
I'll be Bill.
Okay, all right, here we go.
What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, anyway.
Ding!
What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner.
Have you read it?
Not actually. I've sure read about it, though. It's supposed to be great.
It is great.
I hear it's great. Waiter?
Ding!
What's the book?
The Sound and the Fury.
Oh, Faulkner.
Have you read it?
I'm a Mets fan, myself.
Ding!
So, there you go. Just an example that you don't always have to be stuck in one line of dialogue. You can try out different things. So let's go ahead and let's just get started with this first word sprint, jumping right into it.
Okay, so So write a bunch of different possible responses to the opening sentence. You were supposed to be watching them. What happened?
Okay.
Yeah. Did everybody get those?
All right, so we're about to start the timer, and just in case you missed it, the prompt is starting with the sentence. You were supposed to be watching them. What happened? Go.
So we're going for 5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Yes, 5 minutes. Okay. And start.
Is it 1 minute warning time?
Oh, almost.
Ah.
30 seconds.
Mm.
Okay. Pencils down.
Alright.
Papers off your laptop.
I'm the only one using an old-fashioned pen and paper here. That's okay. I'll hold it, Steve.
So in the chat box, tell us how many responses you came up with. I personally had 7 responses.
Whoa.
No.
I had 3.
I had 4.
So I just kept moving along.
All right.
Cool. You can also tell us your total word count,
Mm-hmm.
and if you want to share a possible response,
Yeah.
that would be awesome too.
What about you guys? Did you have any really awesome responses?
For some reason, when I thought about this, it's just, I don't know. It's just,
All right, I'm curious now.
no, I don't know. No, I don't know why this makes me laugh. It's not funny. You were supposed to be watching them. What happened? Hey, now, where were you when they decided to wreck the house?
Nice. I like that.
Yeah. What about
That's okay.
yours?
For some reason, I went the other. My first 3 were all. Yeah, I don't know what happened, or something happened, and then my last one I was like, nothing happened. I'm watching them right now. Can't you see them? Everything's the same.
Whoa.
You don't look too well. Is anything wrong?
That's creepy. That's like the beginning of like a horror movie.
It's really
Yeah.
manipulative.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right.
Well, we're getting some word counts rolling in. So far, it looks like Solace Willow is at the top with 523 words, which is crazy impressive. I think I got like 80.
I don't know. I don't even want to count mine.
Whoa, Hannah Lyons has a really cool one. She says that I started one, then changed. She may have given her bro the slip and gone to kill a dragon.
Nice.
Love it.
Much better than mine.
Not this dragon.
I think that's a dinosaur.
Yeah, that's true. Solid point. And then Creator Ross says that she didn't use the prompt. It didn't fit into the story, which is totally fine. That's awesome. Write your story if you need to. And then Dance Storm had a sample of dialogue that was all of them gone, but you were supposed to be watching them. I was, and they still went off, and it's been far too long since one's come looking for teaching. Intriguing. Sounds like a guru of some sort.
Perhaps. Or
Yeah.
ninjas.
Ooh, ninjas.
We can always talk about ninjas.
Great. These are really awesome. Sounds like everyone did really well. So what's next?
Okay.
All right. So our next prompt, I think we're going to do 7 minutes.
Yes, we are.
All right, 7 minutes. And we are going to give you another random first line of dialogue. And then you can take this one and expand on it however you want to. You know, take it wherever you want to go. So
Do you want to start with the middle?
yeah. So keeping in mind that we're trying to use dialogue to say something really important about the characters and the action, we wanted to give just a little example of it's another play by Oscar Wilde, but it's an example of using dialogue to show the character and kind of what their values are, or how they see themselves. So this is from the play The Importance of Being Earnest, and it's starting off with Algernon and his butler Lane.
Who wants to do what?
I'll read the stage directions.
You do one thing?
I'll be Algernon, I guess.
Okay.
Great. Morning room in Algernon's flat in Half Moon Street. The room is luxuriously and artistically furnished. The sound of a piano is heard in the adjoining room. Lane is arranging afternoon tea on the table, and after the music has ceased, Algernon enters.
Did you hear what I was playing, Lane?
I don't think it's polite to listen, sir.
I'm sorry for that, for your sake. I don't play accurately. Anyone can play accurately. But I play with wonderful expression. As far as the piano is concerned, sentiment is my forte. I keep science for life.
Cool. So yeah, again, the point of this next word sprint is to explore dialogue as a tool for kind of explaining your character, exploring dialogue that's really unique to your character's voice. And so we've got a first line to kind of like send you off into this next 7-minute word sprint.
Okay, so the first line is, I'm telling you, she was a complete stranger. She just walked up to me and gave me this box.
Cool.
Okay, so 7 minutes. I'll tell you when the halfway point comes along. Okay, so, and start. Okay, halfway point. Okay, minute left. Okay, we're done.
Okay.
Cool.
So-
Have your typing fingers up?
Yep. Hands down.
Down.
All right, guys. So in the comment box, if you want to give us your word count, or maybe tell us a little bit about the scene you created, or maybe what's in the box if you found out.
Ooh.
There
Or
we
a
go.
piece of dialogue.
Yeah.
I'll share mine because I kind of like it.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm telling you, she was a complete stranger. She just walked up to me and gave me this box. And you just took it? Didn't your mom teach you about taking candy from a stranger? My mom did teach me that, but she never taught me not to take a box from a stranger. Let me enlighten you with another classic saying, stranger danger.
Nice.
That's awesome. I also used the candy from a stranger reference. Let's see what my word count was. I wrote 140 words, which is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
Well, I'm not going to count mine
Yeah.
because I don't have the computer. But I've been reading a lot of Isaac Asimov lately, and I think that really influenced what I wrote, because I went on, I'm telling you, she was a complete stranger. She just walked up to me and gave me this box. Don't be silly. No one's going to come up to you and just give you a box like that. Law Code Section E6124 forbids the giving of unsolicited gifts without the proper filing of Form 86 Gamma smiley face.
I like it. That's awesome. I feel like that's like a really good example of world building through dialogue too.
Yeah. So,
Cool. Well, how did you guys do? Let us know in the comments. Word counts and sentences if you feel like.
I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, so I also used the candy from strangers thing. So I
It's a good
started
line.
with
It's a really good line.
I'm telling you, I don't know who she was. She just gave me this box and left. This is why you don't accept candy from strangers. But I love candy from strangers. It's the best tasting kind. And then it goes on, and it gets more obnoxious. Cool. It looks like you guys did a lot better than us. So Alex Brown so far has written 452 words, and it looks like everyone's kind of written around 200 to 300 words, which is awesome. Oh, someone said there's an odd sound in the background, something glorping and squelching.
Ooh, like a nice glorping.
Yeah, that's probably the Camp NaNoWriMo plot nest monster in its lake behind us.
I have a blanket up, so I can't see what we're doing.
Yeah, it gets a little too like excited about being on video.
Who doesn't want to be like, famous on the internet?
I know, a YouTube star. Cool, and then Hannah Lyons gave us a sample of dialogue. She said, "And do we know how to open this box? Will this box answer our prayers?" Which was really cool and intriguing. Winona Gardner says that in her version, the box holds the ashes of their dead grandmother.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's really cool. Lisa Rose Shapiro says her word count sucked. But Lisa Rose, no word count suck. If it's greater than 0, that's that many words more than you had before you started. And then Keely Martin says, well, what was inside of it? I do not know. I have not opened it yet. Well, then let's take a peek. Which does seem like the logical conclusion to receiving a mysterious box.
Or like, don't open it.
That's true.
It's like horror movies. You never go towards the side.
That's true. If it's ticking, you don't open the box. Cool.
Okay, good job, guys.
Yeah, really great job.
I just want to know more about all of these stories that are going on right now.
No, these are like really good seeds of mystery being planted.
Yeah.
All right. So,
we have another word sprint.
So, the 10-minute one.
This is a longer one.
Yes, it is.
So I think we're kind of you guys are doing a really great job of finding the important bits of information and putting them in your dialogue and making it really engaging, making us want to know so much more about it. So I think keep that up, because we're kind of, I don't know, we kind of put some little tips in today about writing and writing dialogue. So one of the ones that we have right now is just to try and skip the boring parts, if that makes sense. Like, you know that people are going to say, hi, hello, how are you doing? And that doesn't really move the story along or tell anything about the character. So as much as possible, maybe for this next word sprint, try to let go of those conventions a little bit and really find out what the mystery is or what you want to find out about what you're writing.
Get to like the core of those conversations. What's the reason these two people are talking right now? You know, like every time like two characters are kind of interacting or speaking with each other, there should be a reason, and there should be kind of some development happening in that conversation. And one of the ways to kind of explore like different voices too, and kind of get to explore your characters a little bit more, is introducing new characters to bounce them off of. Just because your dialogue can change so much depending on who you're talking to. The way you talk to your boss is really different from the way you might talk to like your girlfriend or boyfriend. And so maybe if your character is kind of like talking with the same like few characters over and over, it might be a really cool way to explore more of your character, to introduce a new character to bounce them off of that has a really different relationship with them. And so that kind of goes into our next prompt.
Yeah, our next prompt is to write a scene of dialogue between the main character of your project and a completely new character. It can be a stranger, a long-lost family member, or somebody from an entirely different dimension. How would they react or interact with each other, and would they overcome any difficulties of communicating with each other? So the random first line of dialogue will be, he couldn't have died at a worse time.
All right.
Dramatic, dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
So this again is a 10-minute sprint. And again, just a reminder, if none of these prompts are really working for you, just totally like sprint, write your novel for the next 10 minutes, and then let us know your word count.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're starting that 10 minutes right now.
All right.
I'll tell you when the halfway point comes.
Just a reminder of the prompt. He couldn't have died at a worse time.
He couldn't. Okay, so 5 more minutes. 30 seconds left.
Ooh.
Okay, we're done. 10 minutes left.
Ooh.
Pencils down.
Pencils down.
Fingers up.
Fingers up.
All right.
So in the chat box, leave your word count or a piece of the dialogue between your main character and this new character you created.
Yeah.
So how did you guys do?
I introduced a therapist.
Oh.
And then said that they were chatting about therapy and stuff. Greenhouse gases came up. I don't know why. What about you?
I introduced an older, high society lady. Who's the mother of a dead girl, and my character's trying to figure out what happened. And it's good.
Sounds great.
I introduced to have kind of like a sarcastic main character, and he's meeting a relative of his at the funeral for the first time, and so she was saying he couldn't have died at a worse time, and then the main character says, I don't know, I can think of a few. And then
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then she gets mad at him. He says, well, I didn't kill him.
That's a world indicator that he didn't kill him.
So, yeah, we would love to hear about your guys' scenarios and word counts.
What was your word count?
Oh, my word
It's
count.
up to you.
Mine was 260, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mine was 223.
Ooh.
Pretty solid.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
beat you.
I know.
Not a competition though, but
Oh, man, I think Amanda Davis is winning now.
Whoa.
67.
look at me passing that arm.
Wow. Nice. Oh, Dee Dee Rance did 383 words, and it's the first time this Camp NaNoWriMo she started writing. So you get like virtual high tens. Woo!
Or
High five and a million angels.
30s.
And let's see. Stephanie Nickel said, I gave us a sentence. She wrote, he couldn't have died at a worse time. Becca's whimper turned into a full-fledged sob. Which sounds like a much more sincere take
Yes.
on the prompt, which is nice.
Yeah.
Whoa, Dan Storm got 580 words. John De Silva got 672 words.
Alex Brown got 772.
Dang, that is impressive.
Yeah.
It's like double R.
Rebecca Cook had a line of dialogue that read, oh, come now, let's not be dramatic. The king isn't dead. He's just in a magically induced coma from which he will probably never wake. That's hardly the same thing.
Nice.
That's awesome.
I feel like our sarcastic characters can perhaps be friends.
I know. You guys should maybe swap characters.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah, we really like that one. Iris Meyer says she wrote 247 lame words.
No such thing.
No such thing.
Even, okay, so Shakespeare made up his own words. And,
There you go.
That's okay.
And also, I always feel like there's like, I mean, this is totally like fake, but I always tell myself that there's like a certain quota of really lame like words that I'm gonna write every novel. So then, like when I do write lame words, I feel like, okay, that's 300 less lame words that I'm gonna write in the future. So that would be a way to think about it.
I don't know, and they don't always help you out. I don't know if you guys find this, but playing Scrabble, vocabulary doesn't help at all. It's always the tiny little two-letter words that give you the most points.
It's so true. It's
Also,
like XI.
Yeah. Also, remember, there's editing after NaNoWriMo, and that's when awesomeness can also begin.
Definitely. Let's see if there are other ones we can read. Amanda Davis said, wrote, "Thanks for the help. I'm Michelle. The dummy that got himself killed was Michael. Brandon, what are you doing out here anyway?" Ugh, long story. Like the blasé attitude towards death there. Cool. Okay, well, I think we're going to move on to our next challenge. It seems like everyone's really doing well, getting into the swing of things.
Yeah. So this is our last word sprint
Oh,
today. I know. Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Cool. Okay, so sorry, we had to catch up. This word sprint is kind of like revolving around the fact, kind of getting around the obstacle that is expositional dialogue. Yeah, so I mean, inevitably you're going to find yourself at a point where you kind of have to do some sort of information dump. And really the key is just to make it not sound like an information dump. So for example, like...
Oh, yeah.
Our example of expositional dialogue, which is, okay, so it's, he's dead, murdered, and somebody's responsible. Yeah, that's not a really great piece of dialogue.
It's like, if he's murdered, obviously somebody is responsible. So you don't, yeah, it's getting down to those really important things and finding out what's important to say in your dialogue and what's not. And
yeah, and a lot of times, like another example of expositional dialogue is kind of like any dialogue that starts with like, "Well, as you know," and then kind of going into all these details that I mean, if the other character knows it, why are we being told? Why are they being told it already? And so yeah, I mean, like we said, like you kind of have to like give information in dialogue sometimes, and really just the key is to make it to disguise it, to give like some more purpose to it.
Yeah, I think one of the keys is just really making sure that any information that you give in dialogue has to be of use to somebody in the scene and not just to the audience. So if it's just for the audience, then take it out and find some other way to put it in.
Totally.
So.
Okay, so the prompt is, this new character that you introduced in the previous prompt is now trying to persuade your main character to do something completely against their nature. So the random first line is, "This goes against every fiber of my being."
Right.
We'll start that 10 minutes right now.
Let's go.
So 5 minutes left, approximately.
Halfway there.
Halfway.
Under a minute left. Okay, 10 minutes are up.
Whoa.
Yeah. So in the chat box again, what's your word count and or a piece of dialogue from your piece.
Yeah.
There was a fluff flying around, so I got distracted.
I think our little dino might be shedding.
Yeah, sorry. Cool. Well, what were your characters talking about? Chatting it up about.
Well, yeah, so mine, I kind of continued the scene, and so there's figured out it's the funeral of the main character's father, and says, it goes against every fiber of my being to let those vultures out there get any show of emotion from me, he said. And then she keeps trying to convince him to say something else, and then I think she blackmails him. She says, I'm sure that Topher would agree with me if you asked him. How do you know about Topher? I don't know who Topher is yet.
Dun, dun, dun.
We'll find out. So, yeah, what about you guys?
Well, I kind of strayed away from the prompt, which is fine. Yeah, it was just revealing that the dead person had some relations with this person.
Ooh.
I don't know, that's very extremely vague, but I'm just like, it's all muddled in my brain.
Okay. A little bit of mystery, never heard.
Yeah. My scene was also revolving around a father's funeral. We're doing like a little mind meld on this couch. Yeah. And he was trying on suits. And he considers suits just like completely wrong. Holy smokes. R.K. Hageman just reached 10,000 words, which is huge. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Also, high five in a minute. Oh, applause. I like that applause.
Round of applause.
Yeah. And let's see. Rebecca Cook got 342 words. Dee Rance got 682, which is awesome. Creatira got 256 words from Norway.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Thanks for writing with us all the way from Norway.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That's exciting.
And Stephanie Mickle gave us a sentence. Eric, I'm warning you. Warning me about what? What are you trying to do? Wound my ego by calling me things like not nice? That's awesome.
Nice.
Sadie Lane wrote. Oh, wait. It's happening too fast.
You guys are commenting so fast, it's scrolling up the page as I try to read. Okay.
Sadie Lane wrote, darkly his plate and bobbing to music playing through his earbuds, walked past the sad trio in a frenzied sort of dance. Who is that? Fillmore asked. That's really intriguing. Let's see. Megan Tack wrote, this goes against every fiber of my being. You've been alone for so long. Can't you just let yourself be happy for once? I think you making me happy is the only thing that makes loving you okay.
Oh.
Wow. Cool. Well, this is kind of the end of our write-in. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for just, using Camp NaNoWriMo to tell your stories. All the sentences we got to read today were so exciting. It sounds like people made some great milestones this time around. 10K. That's awesome. 10K is actually my entire goal for Camp NaNoWriMo, so yeah, keep writing. We're gonna host these virtual write-ins a couple more times this month. Wendy and Katherine will be back, and I think next week I'm gonna be gone. But Shelby Gibbs, our office captain, who is much prettier than me, will be here. And we're also hosting a writing marathon this Saturday. That's going to go from about 9 to 5. It's going to be really exciting. If you're at all behind on your word counts, you really need a day to dedicate yourself to your writing project. That's the day to do it. If you want to get sponsored to even kind of push yourself further and prove your commitment to your novel, this is also a great time to donate to our nonprofit. If you believe your story matters, then this is kind of the time to kind of really put your money where your mouth is. And so that's going to be really cool too. The writing marathon, we're going to have a ton of live streams and be active on Twitter with the hashtag Nanothon. So check that out. It's going to be super fun. Some staff members may or may not arrive in jogging shorts. We will see.
It will be documented.
It will be documented.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well,
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
everyone.
This is
Bye.
Wednesday for the write-in, but the writing marathon on Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay.
great.